I can't promise you that. All right, everyone, welcome to the karaoke portion of tonight's sermon. For my first song, so first I want to thank everyone for coming out here and joining us to celebrate these two crazy people over here. These two beautiful people. This is a great example of what it looks like when an unstoppable force meets an immovable object. I don't know which one's which, but because they both fit that description. And I did write this, and I did break down twice writing this, so hopefully that's the end of me breaking down, but we'll see how it goes. Zach, before I met you, I knew I didn't like you. And that had nothing to do with who you are or whatever path or compass you had in life. By default, I didn't like anyone that wanted to date my daughter. Right, Skylar? There were times when, these are kids coming over to the house, and there's like a boy asking me if he can use my bathroom, and I just had to start cleaning my gun all of a sudden. So, Lonnie's my baby girl, she's our baby girl, and I am shaking right now reading this. When Lonnie told Aaron that, when Lonnie told Aaron that she was bringing her boyfriend home or to come by, I was both excited and afraid. I was excited because that was the moment that I get to be that dad, So I started planning things out in my mind. Like, how was it gonna go? What was I gonna say? And as soon as he arrived and all the small talk ended, I didn't invite him. I actually told him, you're coming with me to go run some errands. We went to Ace Hardware, went to the grocery store. I don't know if you remember that day, right? We went because we had a camping trip coming up. We got some firewood at the nursery, and I made him load the truck. He did all the work. I didn't lift anything. And so he did good, And during our time together, we got to know each other pretty well. That's when I found out he's a Raider fan, and I almost kicked him out of the truck.
Bandwagon.
He told me about his family. He told me about his interests, life in general. I proceeded to tell him about my interests and whatnot, and how incredibly important my family is to me. And when I realized he wanted to date my daughter, I was like, what? No, not in my house. This ain't happening. This is when I internalized it. I had to keep my cool, and it prompted me to shift gears. And I'm like, I can't do this to Lon. I can't be that dad that pushes her away. So I remember saying, I will do anything for my family, anything. I will gladly serve time for my family. And there's plenty of land in Vacaville, right, Auntie Jane? Where we can bury bodies. And that's when he found that out. And I also shared with him that if you continue to date my daughter, if you really want to do this, that you needed to be honest, you needed to meet the family, and I think Zach navigated that path over the years in a tremendous way. He's always made me proud. He's never done anything but be kind and respectful to me, to my wife, to our son, to Lonnie most importantly. But he also never mistook my kindness for weakness, because I felt like he always looked up to me, and that was awesome, even though he comes from a good place. Right, Dave? And Stacy. And earlier I mentioned that I was both excited and afraid. My fear was that Lonnie was going to bring home someone that would replace me. I was the most important man in her life for the longest time until she met this man, until she met this boy. All of a sudden there's a 15-year-old boy that walks into our life taking her attention away from me. But I needed to deal with that. But I felt like, you know what? No, he's a threat. He has to be dealt with. I need to make this right. But that wasn't the way. My wife continued to remind me that that wasn't the way. My beautiful wife. Erin Dramo standing right over there. She has always been the conduit, the filter, the buffer, the diplomat, whatever you want to call it, between me and Lonnie. Erin knew if I reacted harshly, then I would push her away. So I was on a need-to-know basis. For those of you that are married out there to a good woman or a good partner, sometimes you have to be on a need-to-know basis, and that wasn't easy. But trust and love helped guide that. It helped me try to understand what was happening in my life as a father. And I couldn't let fear of losing my daughter get the best of me or us, because it did affect both of us. It affected us when there was a time when so we have an annual tradition, right? And I'm sorry I'm going long, but I'm just gonna take this time to do this. Because she's my only daughter and I get to do this, so you guys are gonna have to go through it with me. We have an annual tradition where we go camping every year to Lake Shasta, right? And it's family only. And there was one year, Zach wasn't invited yet, but Lonnie, bless her heart, wanted to bring Zach to the family camping trip. And it was always no. And she asked, and she never stopped. This is that unstoppable force that I was talking about earlier. The thing about her, she doesn't take no for an answer, and that's why she's so successful. And we kept saying no. We kept saying no, and she kept asking, and she kept fighting and fighting and fighting. And Erin, she backed me up on the decision. I love her to death for that. Until, behind her back, I said yes. Because my daughter came running to me, and it broke my heart, and she knew that she had me wrapped around her little finger. And I said, yes, you can bring Zach. My wife didn't talk to me for 3 weeks after that.
Can I clarify? Not because I didn't want Zach to go, but Elvin had said no to Zach going, and I was just backing that up. Just clarifying.
The only reason why I'm bringing this story up is because Zach took that opportunity to show us who he really was. Why he deserved to be at a family camping trip, at a family tradition camping trip. And because Lonnie knew who he was, we didn't know who he was. But she introduced him to us in a great way. And since then, he's always been welcome. Always. Fast forward, this man was invited. I invited him to an annual men's fishing trip that me and all my friends go to. Only the guys go to. The women stay at home or do whatever you guys do at home. I don't know. Drink Prosecco and orange juice. Zach asked me, he pulled me aside and he asked me at that camping trip if he could have my blessings to ask Lonnie to be his wife. And that meant a lot to me. Especially coming from a family from the Philippines, that's a tradition. I mean, when you marry someone, you marry their family. It's not just one person. The family has to agree to it. So that's why I share that. So Zach, I just want to say that you've grown into, I'd like to say that you've grown into a man that I respect enough to say, yes, I do accept you asking for my daughter's hand in marriage, but that wouldn't be all accurate. Rather, I'd like to say to you, you've helped me grow as a father. You've helped me realize that there's someone in this world crazy enough to fall in love with my baby girl. You've helped Erin and I realize that there's someone deserving of her love. You've taught us not to be so selfish with keeping her to ourselves and to enjoy seeing her build a new life with you. It's almost done, guys. Lonnie, what can I say that you don't already know? I remember the first time I met you. You were stubborn. It took you, how many hours, babe? 27 hours?
26.
It took her 26 hours to come into this world. She said no then. She was upset, she was wrinkly, and she put herself at risk because of her stubbornness to come into this world. And you've come a long way. Your mother and I were kids having a kid. We didn't know what we were doing, but we figured it out along the way and we made it work. Before your brother was born, the three of us practically grew up together. We learned how to do our best at being parents and raising you and hoping not to mess it up. You learned how to fight. Everyone. You nearly bit off your tongue, which is pretty scary, but you got whatever you wanted from your grandparents. That was pretty fun. And you learned how to fight some more, and the list goes on and on. You know, Lonnie had multiple fights, and they were all against guys too, except for, I think, but I think the most important thing that impresses me the most about you is that you don't take no for an answer. You never have. And it's that stubbornness, it's that tenacity, it's that hunger for life that's helped you become the woman that you are today. You're a boss bitch. I'll translate that for everyone that's a business owner. And we are so very proud of you. Your last name may have changed to Zamora today, but just know the Geronimo bloodline is strong in you and will always run through your veins. When I walked you down the aisle today, I was brought back to the moment I feared that I may be losing you again. However, seeing how much Zach loves and adores you, I know you found a man deserving of your heart. My fear has been replaced with great love and admiration for the two of you. Lonnie, my sweet baby girl. Zach, my new son. Both of you, as you continue growing and carving your path in life, always be there for each other. Never let fear or anger poison your home. Always approach each other with love and compassion. And I think I can speak for everyone here, including my wife, Jake, and the rest of the Geronimo family, that our hearts are full when we say welcome to the family. Everyone, please raise a glass and help me celebrate these two.